Hello everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Grammar Geek. In the previous video, we've learned some rules for subject-verb agreement. We've seen some basic rules, some rules for pairs, and some for collective nouns. If you haven't already watched those videos, I'll leave a link to them in the description box below. But today, let's talk numbers. Confused? Wondering if you've clicked on a maths tutorial accidentally? Well, no, we are still learning subject-verb agreement. But yes, you heard me right. We often come across sentences with subjects such as percentages, like say 30% of the voters. It could be fractions like two-thirds of the population or half of the land, or say determiners like some of the goats, all of the balloons, much of the sugar, many of the children. So when the subject of any sentence is a percentage, a fraction, or a determiner, is the subject singular or plural? And how does one decide what the verb should be? Pretty tricky, huh? But that's what we are going to look at today. But before that, let's revise what we already know about countable and uncountable nouns. Say I want some eggs. I can ask you to give me one egg, or two eggs, or five eggs, and you'd know what I need. Say I need a banana. I could ask for one banana, or 1 dozen bananas, even 100 bananas. I can count the number of eggs or the number of bananas. Similarly, stars. Though there are uncountable stars in the sky, yet I can count them 1 star, 100 stars, or 1,000 stars. Since all these things can be counted, they are called as countable nouns. However, when I want milk and I ask for one milk, would you know how much milk to give? Do I need 1 cup, 1 glass, or a carton of milk, you would ask? How about sugar? Can you give me one sugar? Or would you want me to be specific? 1 spoon, 1 cube, or a jar of sugar perhaps. So as you might have observed, I need an extra unit of measurement like a spoon, a cup, or a glass to tell you exactly how much of a particular thing I need. We cannot simply count these nouns. So let's look at some more examples like honey, or say land, or even rice. I need to specify what I need. If I say give me one honey or one land or one rice, you would think I've gone bonkers. I need to specify whether I need one jar or a spoonful of honey, whether I'm talking about an acre or an hectare of land, or one bowl or a plate of rice. Simply adding a countable noun will not do, isn't it? So such nouns that cannot be counted are called as uncountable nouns. So now, armed with this knowledge, let us look at sentences which have percentages, fractions, and determiners as the subject. Now, if the subject contains fractions, percentages, or determiners along with countable nouns, whether those nouns are plural or whether they are singular, the verb will agree with the noun in number. Let's look at the first sentence. Now here the subject is some of the pies, or say all of the pies. Pies is a countable plural noun. Therefore, the verb has to agree with the noun, and so the verb will be plural. Hence we use the verb have. And so I say some of the pies have disappeared. But when the countable noun is singular, as in the second sentence, some of the pie, then the verb is also singular, and so I use has. Some of the pie has disappeared. Now some of the pies implies that there are a lot of pies, some of which have disappeared. But some of the pie implies that there is one pie and a part of that pie has disappeared. Similarly for percentages. Now 20% of the people implies the total number of people in a city. Hence it is a plural countable noun and it merits a plural verb are. However, 20% of the city implies one city, and thus city is a singular countable noun, and we use the singular verb is unemployed. 20% of the people are unemployed, but 20% of the city is unemployed. Let's look at fractions. The same rule applies. Half of the cakes implies there's more than one cake, half of which have either been eaten or sold. So half of the cakes are gone. But half of the cake implies half of a particular cake, a single cake that we are talking about, half of which is gone. So half of the cake is gone. Let's now look at some sentences that have uncountable nouns as the subject along with fractions, percentages or determiners. So uncountable nouns like we've seen earlier are milk, sugar, land, food, cotton, money, and these are always considered to be singular and take on a singular verb. So some of the milk was spilled, half of the land was occupied, much of the food was wasted. So here's a worksheet I'll leave you with so you can use this to practice your understanding. You can pause the video here for a minute and try and fill up these blanks. Shall we look at another set of numbers? So now these numbers involve measurement. So when the subject is something like distance, like say 3 kilometers or 5 miles, someone's weight like 45 kilos or 12 pounds, height say 6 feet, or amount of money 5,000 rupees, $1 million, is the subject singular or plural? So when money, time and distance measurements are used, they always take on a singular verb. So don't get tricked by the usage of words like kilometers, feet, kilos, pounds, rupees or dollars. Though all these words are plural, yet they are considered as a single unit of measurement and hence they take on a singular verb. Let's look at some examples. 100 rupees. So 100 rupees, though it seems to be a plural word, yet it takes on a singular verb is. So 100 rupees is too much for this bag and not 100 rupees are too much. This 5 kilos is what the bag weighs. So again, though kilos sounds like a plural word, but it takes on a singular verb. 5 kilos is what the bag weighs. 10 kilometers. Again, we don't use are, so we say 10 kilometers is not a long distance to run. Here's another worksheet to help you practice. Well, in the next video, we'll look at the final set of rules. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, do like, share and subscribe and hit the bell icon to receive instant updates. Until next time, bye-bye and take care.